Hello, welcome to the online learning platform of Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat Gandhinagar. Myself, Professor Gaurang Patel, your instructor for the course Microwave Engineering. Dear students, in the last video lecture, we have calculated some numericals on transmission line. We have calculated numericals on topics like input impedance for quarter wave transmission line, input impedance for open circuited transmission line, short circuited transmission line, and we have also calculated VSWR and reflection coefficient for transmission line, basically lossless transmission line. Now today we will continue to discuss numericals on transmission line. So let's discuss one more numerical for transmission line. So let me first read the question. So a lossless transmission line of 50 ohm. 50 ohm means that is a characteristic impedance of the line, that is Z0 is equal to 50 ohm. Z0 is equal to 50 ohm. Okay, is having maximum voltage, that is 2.5 volt. Vmax is equal to 2.5 volt and Vmin is equal to 1 volt. So Vmax is equal to 2.5 volt, that is 2.5 volt, and Vmin is equal to 1 volt. Vmin is equal to 1 volt. When the line is terminated by unknown load, find one VSWR, second reflection coefficient, and load impedance. So for the given lossless transmission line, we have to find out three parameters. One is the VSWR, another is the reflection coefficient, and third is the unknown load impedance. Here the line is terminated with unknown load impedance. That load impedance we have to find out. Now here, as we know, concept of VSWR, that is standing wave ratio on the transmission line. So whenever there is a mismatch on the transmission line, there is an impedance mismatch on the transmission line, then standing wave is generated on the line. So suppose this type of standing wave is generated on the line. So this is the nothing but standing wave on the transmission line. So this is a standing wave on the transmission line. And for this standing wave, the maximum voltage is given as 2.5 volt and minimum voltage is given as 1 volt. So maximum voltage, that is a 2.5 volt, and this minimum voltage, that is the 1 volt. Now first we have to find out the VSWR. So as we know, VSWR is nothing but it is the ratio of maximum voltage to minimum voltage of standing wave. So it is nothing but Vmax divided by Vmin. What is the value of Vmax? That is a 2.5. It's very simple. And what is Vmin? That is a 1 volt. So this is nothing but it is 2.5. So VSWR is 2.5. So one parameter that we found out, that is a VSWR on the transmission line. Now second, we have to find out the reflection coefficient. So we already know the relation between VSWR and reflection coefficient. So reflection coefficient is related to VSWR by this formula. So reflection coefficient, that is gamma L is equal to rho minus 1 divided by rho plus 1. Rho is nothing but it is a VSWR. Okay, VSWR is denoted by rho, abbreviated as rho. So rho minus 1 divided by rho plus 1. Now the value of rho is already known to us, that is a 2.5 minus 1 divided by 2.5 plus 1. So if we solve this, then it is nothing but 0.428. So value of the reflection coefficient is 0.428, and very important to note, as we know, the reflection coefficient value is range between 0 and 1. The value of the reflection coefficient is range between 0 and 1, and here we are also getting the value between 0 and 1, that is a 0.428. And here also interesting to note, the value of VSWR is range from 1 to infinity. So here this VSWR is also greater than 1, that is a 2.5, and less than infinity. Correct? So we have also find out reflection coefficient. Now third that we have to find out, that is a load impedance. Third we have to find out, that is load impedance. Okay, so in order to find out load impedance, we have to use this formula. There is a relationship between the reflection coefficient, load impedance and characteristic impedance. That is gamma L is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, and we are interested to find out ZL. We already know the Z0. Z0 is the characteristic impedance of the transmission line, that is 50. Gamma L that we have found out, that is 0.428. So put all these values. 0.428 is equal to ZL minus 50 divided by ZL plus 50, and if we solve this, then it is 0.428 into ZL plus 21.4 is equal to ZL minus 50. And if we simplify this, then in that case we got the value of ZL, that is 124.8 ohm. So the value of this unknown load, that is unknown load, that is the 124.8 ohm. Okay, done. So this is the one of the numerical regarding the transmission line. Now let's start another important topic of the transmission line, that is power in transmission line or power on the transmission line. So बच्चों, अब तक हमने वोल्टेज एंड करंट के बारे में डिस्कशन किया है, मतलब ट्रांसमिशन लाइन पे करंट क्या होता है और वोल्टेज कैसे रिप्रेजेंट होता है उसके बारे में हमने डिस्कशन किया, और करंट ट्रैवलिंग वेव, वोल्टेज ट्रैवलिंग वेव के फॉर्मूलाज भी हमने डिराइव किए हैं। नाउ आज हम पावर का फॉर्मूला डिराइव करेंगे। आज किसका फॉर्मूला डिराइव करेंगे? पावर ऑन द ट्रांसमिशन लाइन। सो इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड आउट द पावर, वी फर्स्ट फोकस ऑन voltage and current expression on the transmission line. So if you consider the voltage traveling wave, that we already know, the voltage traveling wave, which is a function of space and time, that is Vx of t is equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x plus V minus e raised to plus gamma x bracket over into e raised to j omega t. So this nothing but it is the instantaneous voltage on the transmission line. And it consists of two parts. One is the forward part and this represents the backward part. So forward part and backward part. For simplicity, let's consider only forward part. So if we consider the forward part, then forward part is given as Vx of t is equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x into e raised to j omega t. So this is the time varying voltage traveling wave, forward part of the voltage traveling wave on the transmission line. Now as we know, this gamma is nothing but it is a propagation constant. So gamma is nothing but propagation constant that we already discussed. Okay, this is the propagation constant. Okay, so gamma is nothing but it is the propagation constant, right? And the propagation constant formula that we already know, that is gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. Gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta, where alpha is nothing but attenuation constant and beta is nothing but it is a phase constant. Alpha is attenuation constant and beta is phase constant. So if we replace this gamma by alpha plus j beta, then expression for the voltage is given as V inside bracket x of t is equal to V plus e raised to minus alpha plus j beta into x e raised to j omega t. Now let's simplify this further. Then it is V plus e raised to minus alpha x into e raised to minus j beta x into e raised to j omega t. Now if we separate out this V plus e raised to minus alpha x and combine these two exponential term, they are e raised to minus j beta x into e raised to j omega t, then our expression will be V plus e raised to minus alpha x into e raised to omega t minus beta x into j. This is simply the combination of these two and separation of this. That is V plus e raised to minus alpha x e raised to omega t minus beta x into j. And if we write this in terms of cos, then it will be V plus e raised to minus alpha x cos omega t minus beta x. Okay. Similarly, this is the voltage traveling wave. Now if we consider the current traveling wave on the transmission line, then it is given as I f x of t is equal to I plus e raised to minus gamma x plus I minus e raised to plus gamma x into e raised to j omega t. So this is nothing but it is the time varying forward. This is the time varying current traveling wave. Okay, as we know, it is also combination of forward part and reverse backward wave. It is a combination of forward wave and backward wave. Now for simplicity, if we consider only forward part, then the forward part of this current traveling wave is given as Ix of t is equal to I plus e raised to minus gamma x into e raised to j omega t. So similarly, as we did in the previous case, if we replace this propagation constant gamma by alpha plus j beta, if we replace this, then our current expression will become I x of t is equal to I plus e raised to inside bracket minus alpha plus j beta into x e raised to j omega t. If we simplify further, then this will be I plus e raised to minus alpha x into e raised to minus j beta x into e raised to j omega t. Now if we separate out these two terms and if we combine these two exponential terms, which are e raised to minus j beta x and e raised to j omega t, then the expression of the current will be I plus e raised to minus alpha x into e raised to j omega t minus beta x. And if we represent this in terms of cos, this exponential term in terms of cos, then our current expression will become I x of t is equal to I plus e raised to minus alpha x into cos omega t into beta x. So we got the forward voltage part as well as forward current part on the transmission line. Now we are interested to find out the power. So from our basic circuit theory, we know that power is nothing but it is the multiplication of voltage and current, that is P is equal to V into I. P is equal to V into I. So basically, as we know, this current and this voltage is the instantaneous voltage and current on the transmission line. So this current represents the instantaneous current on the transmission line, and this voltage represents the instantaneous voltage on the transmission line. So if we multiply these two, then the resultant power will be also instantaneous power. So instantaneous power on the transmission line is nothing but Px of t is equal to Vx of t multiply Ix of t. So if we replace this Vx of t by its formula and Ix of t by the above formula, then what we will got, that is Vx of t is nothing but V plus e raised to minus alpha x cos omega t minus beta x into current part, that is I plus e raised to minus alpha x cos omega t minus beta x plus theta. Now the question arises in your mind that in the current expression there is no theta. Okay, यहाँ पे कोई थीटा नहीं है, तो यहाँ पे कैसे आ गया थीटा? सो बेटा यहाँ पे हम सिंप्लिसिटी मतलब हम ऐसा एजम्पशन कर रहे हैं कि वोल्टेज एंड करंट्स आर नॉट इन फेज, दे हैव सम फेज डिफरेंस ऑफ थीटा. मतलब यहाँ पे जो करंट एंड वोल्टेज एक्सप्रेशन है वो दोनों ट्रांसमिशन लाइन पे फेज में नहीं है, दे आर नॉट इन फेज, दे हैव द सम फेज डिफरेंस ऑफ थीटा. सो I have introduced the phase difference theta in the current part. So the current and voltage are not in phase on the transmission line. Okay. So then what will happen? If we simplify this, then it is the V plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x into cos omega t minus beta x into cos omega t minus beta x plus theta. So this is the expression for instantaneous power on the transmission line. Now we are interested to find out average power on the transmission line. So if we would like to find out the average power, then we have to integrate this instantaneous power over the one cycle. Okay, so if we integrate this instantaneous power over the one cycle, then we will get the average power. So average power is nothing but 1 over t integration 0 to t px of t dt. This is nothing but px of t, that is our instantaneous power, and we have integrated it over one cycle, then it gives us the average power. Okay, so that is the 1 over t integration 0 to t, put the value of this instantaneous power in this expression, that is v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x cos omega t minus beta x into cos omega t minus beta x plus theta into dt. Now if we observe carefully, this v plus I plus are constant and this e raised to minus 2 alpha x is also constant because it does not have any time dependent term. There is no time varying term in this expression, so we can take this entire term as a constant and it will come outside. So what we will got, v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x divided by t integration 0 to t cos omega t minus beta x into cos omega t minus beta x plus theta into dt. Now if we multiply and divided this by 2, then multiply by 2 divided by 2, then it will become 2cc, 2 cos a into cos b. So this become 2 cos a into cos b, and as we know from our basic mathematics, 2 cos a into cos a b is nothing but cos a plus b, cos a plus b plus cos a minus b, cos a minus b. So cos a plus b into cos a minus b. So if we consider this as a and this as b, so this is a and this is b, and if we apply this formula, then what we will get, 0 to t cos omega t minus beta x plus omega t minus beta x plus theta plus cos omega t minus beta x minus omega t plus beta x minus theta. So this is nothing but 2 times omega t minus 2 times beta x plus theta plus this omega t cancel, this beta x cancel, so we left with cos of minus theta into dt. Now if we apply the separation integration to these two terms, then v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x divided by 2t inside the bracket 0 to t cos 2 omega t minus 2 beta x plus theta into dt plus 0 to t cos theta dt. Now this is nothing but this term will be 0. Integration of cos 2 theta minus 2 omega t minus 2 beta x plus theta over one entire cycle, over full cycle is 0. So this will become 0. So what we will left with, v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x divided by 2t. Cos theta is again constant because we are integrating with respect to t, and cos theta do not have any time varying term. So this v is a constant. So if we take it outside, then cos theta 0 to t dt, and integration 0 to t dt, that is t. Okay, so that is a v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x divided by 2t cos theta, and if we put upper limit and lower limit, then it will be capital T minus 0, so tt cancelled, and we are left with average power, that is P average is equal to v plus I plus e raised to minus 2 alpha x divided by 2 into cos theta. Again we also know that Z naught is nothing but v plus divided by I plus. So characteristic impedance on the transmission line, that is a ratio of forward voltage to reverse voltage, that is v plus divided by I plus. So from this expression I can say that I plus is nothing but v plus divided by Z naught. तो यहाँ पे अगर हम I plus की जगह पे v plus divided by Z naught रखें इस एक्सप्रेशन में, then P average is equal to v plus divided by Z naught e raised to minus 2 alpha x into cos theta divided by 2, and that is nothing but P average is equal to v plus square divided by 2 Z naught e raised to minus 2 alpha x into cos theta. So this is a final expression for the average power on the transmission line. Okay, so what we did, we have derived expression for the average power on the transmission line. So from the knowledge of voltage and current, we have derived the expression for the power on the transmission line, that is v plus square divided by 2 Z naught e raised to minus 2 alpha x into cos theta. Now let's look at one numerical on this power on the transmission line. So this is already we discussed this numerical, that is a local transmitter represented by equivalent voltage source of 50 volt in series with an internal resistance of 50 ohm is operating at 50 Hz 500 megahertz. The transmitter is connected to antenna, this is the antenna, being represented by complex load of 200 minus J50 through a 4 meter long 50 ohm Teflon filled lossless transmission line as shown in figure. तो ये बच्चों ये एग्जाम्पल हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में देख लिया था। उसमें हमने ये सर्किट के लिए और ये ट्रांसमिशन लाइन के लिए हमने VSWR एंड इसका इनपुट इम्पीडेंस फाइंड किया था। नाउ आज हमें क्या करना है, यही ट्रांसमिशन लाइन के लिए और यही सेटअप के लिए कितना पावर डिलीवर होता है वो हमें फाइंड करना है। सो वी आर इंटरेस्टेड टू फाइंड आउट टाइम एवरेज पावर डिलीवर्ड टू द ट्रांसमिशन लाइन बाय द ट्रांसमीटर। मतलब ये जो ट्रांसमिशन लाइन है उसको कितना पावर डिलीवर होता है बाय दिस ट्रांसमीटर वो हमें फाइंड करना है। तो इफ आई, as we already find out in the last video lecture, the input impedance of this line is nothing but 200, that is the 14.66 minus j 24.17। अगर आपने प्रीवियस वीडियो लेक्चर देखा है तो हमने ये जो ट्रांसमिशन लाइन है, ये जो इतना पोर्शन वाली जो ट्रांसमिशन लाइन है उसका इनपुट इम्पीडेंस हमने लास्ट टाइम फाइंड किया था और इसका इनपुट इम्पीडेंस कितना मिला था हमें, 14.66 minus j to 24.17. So I can replace this transmission line by this equivalent impedance, that is 14.66 minus j 24.17. तो मैं ये जो पूरी ट्रांसमिशन लाइन है उसको उसके इनपुट इम्पीडेंस से मतलब रिप्लेस कर रहा हूँ। सो दिस सर्किट विल रिजल्ट इन, ये सर्किट आप देख सकते हो कि ये पूरा जो पार्ट है उसको मैंने एक सिंगल इंपीडेंस से रिप्रेजेंट किया है, दैट इज 14.66 माइनस जे 24.17। नाउ द करंट फ्लोइंग, लेट्स से द करंट फ्लोइंग इन दिस सर्किट इज I in, and if the current I in flows through this impedance Z in, then voltage drop across this Z in, that is let's say V in। तो यहाँ पे जो Z in के अक्रॉस में जो वोल्टेज ड्रॉप है दैट इज V in, एंड करंट फ्लोइंग थ्रू दिस सर्किट दैट इज I in। अब मुझे पावर कितना यहाँ पे डिलीवर होगा वो मुझे फाइंड करना है। तो एज वी नो, तो पहले हम करंट फाइंड कर देते। करंट अगर मिल जाएगा तो रजिस्टर के अक्रॉस में हमें सिंपल पावर हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। तो हम क्या करेंगे, पहले ये करंट फाइंड करेंगे। सो करंट इज नथिंग बट वोल्टेज डिवाइडेड बाय रेजिस्टेंस अकॉर्डिंग टू ओम्स लॉ, दैट इज 50 volt divided by total resistance of this circuit, that is Rg plus Zin. So 50 divided by 50 plus 14.66 minus j 24.17, and if we solve this complex division or this complex formula, then the current will be 0.7243 angle 20.5 degree ampere। अब हमें पावर फाइंड करना है। तो पावर सिंपल है बेटा, पावर इज नथिंग बट P इज इक्वल टू I स्क्वायर R। अगर मुझे रेजिस्टेंस पता है, दैट इज इम्पीडेंस मुझे पता है, ओके, और मुझे करंट कितना फ्लो रहा है वो पता है, तो आई कैन इजीली फाइंड आउट द पावर। बट यहाँ पे जो पावर है, यहाँ पे देखो ये वोल्टेज सोर्स है वो ऑल्टरनेटिंग वोल्टेज सोर्स है, मतलब साइनोसोडल वोल्टेज है, दिस इज साइनोसोडल वोल्टेज सोर्स। सो आई हैव टू कंसीडर द RMS वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट। तो RMS वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट, मतलब ये पीक की जगह पे हम क्या करेंगे, RMS वैल्यू कंसीडर करेंगे। तो पीक एंड RMS वैल्यू का मतलब फॉर्मूला क्या है, रिलेशन क्या है, दैट इज I RMS इज इक्वल टू I नॉट डिवाइडेड बाय √2। सो दिस इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन पीक वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट, I नॉट इज द पीक वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट, दिस इज द रूट मीन स्क्वायर वैल्यू ऑफ द करंट। तो यहाँ पे I की जगह पे मुझे I RMS लिखना पड़ेगा, ये पीक वैल्यू है, तो I RMS क्या हो जाएगा, I in स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय √2, लेकिन यहाँ पे स्क्वायर है, सो दैट इज द I in स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय 2 हो जाएगा, इनटू इम्पीडेंस। लेकिन पावर कहाँ पे डिलीवर, ये इम्पीडेंस जो है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वांटिटी है, इट हैज द रियल पार्ट दैट इज ए रेजिस्टिव पार्ट, रियल पार्ट दैट इज ए रेजिस्टिव पार्ट प्लस इम्पीडेंस मतलब द रिएक्टेंस पार्ट प्लस रिएक्टिव पार्ट। सो दिस इम्पीडेंस is the complex term which is a combination of resistance part and reactive part। और हमें पता है कि पावर किस में, मतलब पावर लॉस कहाँ पे होता है और पावर कहाँ पे ड्रॉप होता है। पावर इज ओनली ड्रॉप इन दी रेजिस्टिव पार्ट, रिएक्टिव कंपोनेंट डू नॉट ड्रॉप एनी पावर। मतलब यहाँ पे पावर सिर्फ रेजिस्टिव पार्ट में ही यहाँ पे पावर मतलब ड्रॉप होगा, रिएक्टिव पार्ट में पावर ड्रॉप नहीं होगा। तो मैं क्या करूंगा, ये जो कॉम्प्लेक्स इंपीडेंस है उसका सिर्फ रियल पार्ट कंसीडर करूंगा यहाँ पे। सो दैट विल बी दी रियल पार्ट ऑफ दिस इंपीडेंस Z in, बिकॉज वी नीड ओनली रेजिस्टेंस, वी डू नॉट नीड रिएक्टिव पार्ट। ओके तो यहाँ पे रियल पार्ट ऑफ जेड इन, सो आई इन की वैल्यू हमें पता है, दैट इज ए, इसका मैग्नीट्यूड हमें पता है, दैट इज अ 0.7243 होल स्क्वायर डिवाइड बाय 2 मल्टीप्लाई बाय रियल पार्ट ऑफ दिस इम्पीडेंस, दैट इज अ रेजिस्टेंस 14.66, so 14.66, and if we solve this, then the power delivered to the transmission line, that is P is equal to 3.846 watt, 3.846 watt. ओके सो आज के लेक्चर में हमने एक इंटरेस्टिंग और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक डिस्कस किया, दैट इज द पावर डिलीवर टू द लोड और पावर ऑन द ट्रांसमिशन लाइन, उस पर एक न्यूमेरिकल भी किया. आई होप कि जो हमने आज डिस्कशन किया वो आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. लेट्स स्टॉप हियर, विल डिस्कस अदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस ट्रांसमिशन लाइन इन अवर नेक्स्ट वीडियो लेक्चर. थैंक यू वेरी मच.